Hello again and thanks for tuning in. We're going to analyse a clip today that was on the TV last week, and it's a clip of Mr. Peter Hitchens, who's going to outline in a brief summary what he believes is currently happening with our current crop of politicians and their inability to fix any problems at home and their constant need for affirmation on the world stage and looking good, etc. And I think this is a brilliant summary by Mr. Hitchens.
Oh, let's begin with rats, shall we?
Yes.
It is like potholes and like the general decay of almost everything in this country, an extraordinary symptom of this delusion of grandeur which our political class have about what they're for. They find simple tasks like keeping the rubbish cleared and suppressing pests and generally keeping the country in a reasonable state. Beyond them, they can't do that. They aren't actually competent at anything. They've gone into politics precisely because they aren't competent in anything. And so they immediately turn away from this into grandiose stuff. In local government, it's all diversity and equality and everything but the collection of rubbish and the maintenance of roads. And in national government, it's all foreign policy and posturing on the world stage. And it's a disease which they suffer from because they, as I say, they're not up to it. And so they can't confront it with these tedious, small-scale things involving some kind of ability, knowledge and persistence. They can't and won't do it.
Okay, so there you have it. Our politicians are far more interested in looking good on the world stage. They love those media moments. They love the sound bites. They love it when they come out and they talk to the British people. And, they go on their little media rounds. You can see when they get sent out on a daily basis, one of the people from the cabinet will be kind of pushed out in front of the media and they'll go and do these media rounds where they try not to step on landmines. But as we all know, the problems facing this country are large, outside of the normal issues that go on day to day. We've got crime, lawlessness, violent crime, soft sentencing, woke policing, a lack of confidence in the police. We're not tackling real criminals. Our town centres are becoming vile places in some respects, especially down south, which are filled with crime, filled with violence. We've got immigration and border control completely out of control. It seems that when somebody lands on our shores, and I think there's been almost 2,000 people in the last week, which is a record even by our standards, and as soon as those people put a foot on a beach, they get whisked off at great speed to a hotel. They get given a mobile phone, 3 square meals a day, and some money in their pocket with which they can roam round the local town centre, and they get to annoy all of the local inhabitants of that area. And of course, this really annoys everybody because the British taxpayer's footing the bill and nobody can see the reasons why for it. And of course, I could go on and on and on. There are many, many, many issues currently assailing the British people. But in terms of moving forward and a path forward, Britain needs a revival. We need to return to some of the ways of old, if you like, whilst also developing a society and an economy for the 21st century that's fit for purpose. There are massive issues currently facing everybody in the world to do with AI, where the jobs coming from, the amount of people, there's food, all of these massive, massive, massive issues. But our politicians are unable to get anything right, it seems. They can't fix, as in the clip there. There's now a rat problem. And so we have a rat problem which can't be fixed now. Where did that come from? I mean, the society in which we live is coming apart, and our politicians are still talking as if they're in the 20th century. They like to make big claims, as does Mr. Starmer, about being on the world stage and, jetting around the world and talking with world leaders and, shaking hands and looking into the camera. But really, they're not looking after their own country. And that, to me, is disgusting. It disgusts me when I see Kier Starmer playing the world leader when really he can't even look after things that are happening in his own country. And in fact, he can't fix even the smallest problem at all. Anyway, thanks very much for your time today. I do appreciate it.